So more often than not, all of these programs demonstrated that they can certainly help young people on a variety of outcomes. Some of the schools that, some of the programs, that serve particular groups of students are really worth looking at, and I would encourage you to read the profiles in this document. Some of these are really, really interesting programs dealing with subgroups of young people that rarely get attention. One of the greatest programs I've ever come across is Bayview Safe Haven in San Francisco. They are basically in a neighborhood of San Francisco that's shut off from the rest of the world and extremely depressed. And they work with adjudicated at-risk youth, and they have phenomenal outcomes. And they're very strongly connected to the community and as leaders. Girl Scouts Pave the Way, which is a violence prevention program, works with girls who are at risk for violence. Project Venture is a substance abuse program that works with high-risk Native American young people. Seeds to Success is a wonderful farm stand program in New Jersey that works with students who have IEPs. Summer Search and Upward Bound Math Science work with first-generation low-income high school students. The Children's Aid Society, which is primarily in New York City, works with students who are English language learners. And Woodcraft Rangers is a very specialized program that works with students who have fairly significant educational disadvantages, and 50% are free and reduced price lunch. So it just gives you a taste of the populations that these programs are serving. They're not by any stretch of the imagination serving the middle-class kids who, you know, have lots of options for after school. These are programs that are really reaching down into the community to serve the young people that need assistance. So just briefly to finish my comments, I want to talk quickly about the elements of success or the characteristics of the programs that we identified that help to make these programs effective and successful. And we have programs related to how the program is structured, and then we have some elements that are related to larger elements in the system. So just I'm going to mention these very briefly, and if we have time during Q&A, we can get into them in greater detail. This should be no surprise. The ones that work have a comprehensive youth development strategy. They look at dealing with all aspects of helping young people be successful, not just the academic focus. They provide experiential learning, so learning is relevant, it's meaningful, it's related to what young people are experiencing in their life, and it helps make connections between the academics and the real world. They oftentimes provide financial incentives. That might be a stipend, it might be an internship, it might be some other kind of support that's provided to young people to get them there. Sometimes it's a transportation stipend. But oftentimes young people, if they're not going to be working, and we all know it's pretty tough for young people to find jobs these days, it's very helpful for them to earn some money in some way. There's ongoing high-quality staff development. These are programs that invest a lot of time and effort in their staff. They're not just hiring part-time people off the street. These are professionals, and they see themselves as professionals, and they give them that kind of support and development. They provide safe and structured environments. A lot of times these kids say the only place they feel safe is in these programs. They don't feel safe sometimes in school or in their neighborhoods, but when they get into these programs, they feel safe. It's student-centered programming, which goes along with the youth development focused. And the last is that there's lots and lots of supportive adult and peer-to-peer relationships. So many adults involved. Some of the larger structural system-wide elements, these programs collaborate with everybody, and collaboration is key in order to making these programs work. And the ways to facilitate that, we believe, are through having a facilitator or an intermediary. And oftentimes those people or those organizations need to be funded by some kind of funding stream. They can't just do it on their own. So supporting an intermediary or collaboration facilitator to do this work is highly important. And then they work at high quality implementation. They don't just kind of roll along on their laurels. They're using data to improve their programs, and they're constantly looking at ways to reach out to more students to ensure that students attend and that they attend on a regular basis and for a long period of time. So that's very briefly what we found in the publication. As I said, we also included policy recommendations, and I would urge you, if you're thinking about how to connect this work to ESEA and to education reform, to take a look at some of the recommendations. We really are trying to push all these systems to work more closely together. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Betsy. And thank you for all the work and the leadership that you all have done at the AYPF.